I hope everybody's ready. It is Thursday, September 29th, live show, 6 p.m. New York, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And the questions that I typically only have time to answer are from folks with the emblem next to their YouTube username, which means they're part of the YouTube tiers, either one, loyalty tier or Cryptillion tier. Cryptillion tier gets a little bit more stuff, more updates, and but from the live perspective, I don't really know to look at the difference between the emblems, so I answer both questions alike. Bitcoin is not going to do. Bitcoin is not going to do much of anything fancy until very likely near the end of the day, Friday. Perhaps as early as afternoon, literally 12 p.m. New York time. So the weekly or the monthly and quarterly candles close on September 30th at 8 p.m. New York. And volatility on Bitcoin could start heating up, I would say very likely an hour or an hour and a half before. So 6:37 p.m. New York on Friday, September 30th. But it could be as early as 2 p.m. or noon New York time. So what that means for Bitcoin price right now is it's just going to go back and forth. And so what I'm going to do in this portion of the live stream or this Bitcoin video is show you what is in play and the thresholds on when you need to put another thing in play. But as of now, there are only really three things in play, and Bitcoin will likely play with those three items back and forth. And I'm not going to make my guesses on the price path between how it'll bounce, but I'm letting you know the barriers that will essentially make Bitcoin bounce among them. Are you ready? Let's go get some Bitcoin. All right, here we go. I guess I could turn off the music and do a sound check. So over in the comments, just let me know if you can hear me. I think you can. All right, Bitcoin. What is in play? Top of the micro range, which I've gone over my channel over and over and over and over. You typically need to go to the 1 hour chart in order to see it. So let's go like this. Our chart. Turn off these live things. And if you wanted to make just the top line, that's perfectly cool. You would want to look for this pattern around August 13th and 14th. August 13th and 14th. And I'm going to zoom into there. The wicks go above, and the line is just above where it kind of consolidated. It's just above, like this. So this is August 13th. This is August 16th. So, and this is August 15th, I guess. 13th through 15th, I guess. So this is the top line, and you extend it to current price, all right? And if you want to see what else it connects with, because you don't need the whole channel until it falls back into it, but it also connects really well with the stop hunt and whale games from FOMC, which I played this. I traded it well, and my TA was like, I only made 2 guesses, and it literally it literally went from here to here, like in almost the exact same time frame. So it's one thing I actually nailed recently. But I'm on the 1 hour candle. So the 1 hour candle bodies from September 21st. So you connect what we just talked about over there to the roughly the top of the candle bodies. So zoom in. It's just under the top. So this is why it was a trap. The 1 hour zoomed up to close above. The next hour started like it was going to keep going because of this closure, and then it was a fake out. So I've covered this on my channel a lot. Like, candle closures above resistances are only meant to trick you. Now, I'm traditional trading. Yeah, it helps to like confirm stuff, but because traditional finance bots are responsible for 90+% of all trading volume on Bitcoin, not transaction volume, but that doesn't move price, right? Trading volume. Closures are just there to trick you. Closures specifically around support and resistance, they're only meant to trick you. in order to see what's actually happening, you have to go to the very, very low time frames, 15-minute, 5-minute, 3-minute, to see how price is reacting on this line. And I'm not going to cover that on my channel, but just know if you're new here, the closures, I mean, especially the 1 hour and the daily, they're mostly used to trick you, as Bitcoin price is. The order books are very thin. Half of all orders across, a composite of the biggest exchanges, they're not real orders. They're there from the exchanges themselves, or from traditional finance putting in orders to try to trick other bots, and then they're just spoofed, right? So within an order book, it's even thinner than it looks, because half of the orders in there they're going to go away as price gets closer anyway, right? If price goes up and it starts eating through all the red numbers on the order book, which are the sell orders, they start disappearing anyway. So that's one thing in play that you'll want to draw on your chart. And then the other two things in play right now are very simply, I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart now. I'm going to be really zoomed in here. The other two main things in play are labeled here, daily 10 and daily 21. Very simple stuff to put on your chart. And again, sorry for returning viewers, the daily 10, I like to use the 1 hour 200 EMA instead of the daily 10. It is mathematically the same thing for assets that trade 24/7, 365. It's not the same if you go to SPX index or a stock that closes, right? Like Apple or Amazon. It won't be, the daily 10 is not equal mathematically to the 1 hour 200, but things that trade 24/7, 365, it's the same line, and it's just smoother, right? So that's what I'm using. And those are the three things in play. So the first one was the top of the micro channel. That's in play. And I longed this today, and I did a really good trade. I think I closed it here. And it was, I don't know, did I get 2% out of that? See, I probably entered about right there. Yeah, so I'm only going for 2% trades on higher leverage. I got it. So I closed it pretty well there. I actually made 3 good trades today. Just hitting button for singles or hitting singles. So the first thing in play, top of the micro range, green. So green letters for the green thing, orange letters for the orange thing, and then if I can get rid of this for a second, yellow letters for the yellow guy, right? So the 3 things in play. Now there is a chance that price gets slightly more volatile now that Bitcoin is freed from traditional finance. SPX and IXIC or Nasdaq index, right? Now the futures can still kind of, why aren't I getting any, maybe I'm not seeing the chat messages. Is chat not available? Let's see, can somebody leave me a chat message? I'm not really seeing much of anything over there. I thought I asked for a sound check. Somebody leave me a quick message. I think there's a delay on it, but I'm not seeing anything over there besides mine. Anyway, so there is a chance that Bitcoin price gets a little more aggressive and goes over the daily 21 and uses as support and tries to leg up one more time, because the traditional finance trading day is closed with the futures open, but the futures don't move Bitcoin quite as much. If that happens, if price gets above the daily 21 and uses it as support, so not just something like this. So if you zoom in, was the yellow line used as support? No. So I wouldn't bring the weekly 10 into play on something like this. But if it can get above and use it as support, then what you're going to want to do is what happens is the top of the micro range is then out of play, right, as a bumper. So all we're trying to do is establish what's going to make price bump. That's it. And in more specific terms related to how price moves and why price moves, people hitting market buy and market sell is the only thing that moves price, it's the pivot points of people hitting buy and sell. It's what makes people change their mind, or algos, what makes the algos hit buy and sell, right? But they're programmed by humans. All right, so if the daily 21, if price gets above it and uses it as support, then this is no longer in play, and you don't have to stare at it. And your new 3 things, or your next new thing, is the weekly 10. It's way up high, but I mean, that is what would be in play. and it's up closer to 21K. So you'd be dealing with three things then: the daily 10, the daily 21, the weekly 10. Yeah, you might be able to look left and add a horizontal for the first, fourth thing, because there's a lot of space here. But those would be the main three things in play that are going to move algos. Looking left, honestly, the top of the last bull trap would probably be, the next thing in play. So you'd probably put a little horizontal here, and if price gets above and use it as support, the daily 21, you might actually have four things in play, and that would be somewhere around 20,270, something to that effect. I would actually add that if price gets above and stays above the daily 21. So you'd have four things in play to guide you. And again, how price moves across all these, because it's just going to be wishy-washy price action from algos, just essentially looking up the order books and looking for liquidity in form of stops and liquidations of high leverage. It's just going to be back and forth. I don't want to make specific price paths, so I'm showing you the bumpers, and that and the equivalent of that is I'm handing you a drawing book, like a kid's coloring book, that's not colored in, right? So I usually give very specific coloring, like I color it for you and hand you the freaking page, like a kindergartner turning in homework to the teacher. I'm not going to do that. I'm giving you guys, I'm giving you all a drawing of black and white, and price will color in, and you can play with it in that fashion, okay? Because it's just the quarterly close and monthly close is happening. I'm not guessing how Bitcoin price is going to scribble between the lines. It's honestly not even worth it right now until the monthly actually closes and you get maybe another day into it. So you can start seeing how price is swinging after, in which direction it's trying to go, trying to get a feel, is the first direction a fake out, it's actually going to go down, or is the downside a fake out, is it actually going to go up after the closure, things to that effect. All right, so now what are we looking at during the closure? So let's quickly, so I'll wrap up Bitcoin by showing you some key things that are going to be happening during this closure, and things to look out for. Because price could get volatile. Actually, it very likely will get volatile before the closure, right? So big algos are going to try to, and honestly, what I see happening is I think algos are going to try to push price up as close as they can to the top of this candle body. That's what I think that might happen. Around 20,000. I anticipate that as an extreme likelihood. But before then, like today and tonight, price could go down to 18.8. And then it spikes up, and then it goes sideways like at 19K tomorrow, 19.1. And then in 1 hour, it goes up $1,000. So it's not to say, closest where they said like 20,000, so I'm going to long now. No, like it could go down first and go sideways for 12 hours. Like it might happen like at 7 p.m. New York on Friday, September 30th. It doesn't have to be just a constant, okay, let's go up here, so therefore we should long. Like I said, coloring book, I'm not going to guess how price is going to scribble between the lines. This is interesting. Let me see if I turned off the ability to comment. Let me see here. Who can send messages? Subscribers. Okay, it looks like I'm not interesting. I don't know what's going on with that. I can't if you're typing stuff, I can't see it. So this will be an interesting live show. This is a YouTube error, not a user error, I think. Because I just looked at the settings and it says that you can comment if you're subscribed. All right, so, but that's the main thing to be looking out for. That's the whale trap, or just how algos, I believe, are going to behave. And it could go slightly above here, right? It could want to flip the month green, start off the next, so we're going to flip to the weekly, and then the whole next week, the first 3 days, it looks like it's going to be a big fat green candle, and price goes all the way up to something like 21.3, and then it tanks because the fake out was this monthly closure being green, and then they get people excited for the next 3 days of the next week, so it's a big fat green weekly candle, and then it screams down. Like that could be what's going to happen, and if I were a whale, that's exactly what I would do. That's precisely what I would do. Because I would make, I would make a lot of money doing that. Yeah. Anyway, so let's see here. These are origin lines. Okay, so what would that do to the origin lines? So I'm on the weekly chart. That would mean this week closes green, and the next one starts green and then flips red. That would be a great trap. It would take price above this origin line here before it fell back into this macro channel. So yeah, that'd be a wick above this origin line. And for newer viewers, what the origin lines are, you'll only find them on my channel, but I swear to goodness, they're magic. They work like magic. They go back all the way to the origin of price. That's why I call them origin lines. And if I turn them off for you, the macro channel goes back to the 69K top back here. So Bitcoin has been in a channel the whole time with a couple bull traps. I think this is also a bull trap. But a lot of altcoins have been working their way sideways up and out, or not necessarily up, but outside, going sideways, moving lateral to the top of their channel line. Bitcoin might do the same thing before it falls back in for a big move down. All right. And so looking at price this way, what would happen here in that case, if the monthly closure is around 20K, it would just be going like this. And then the month closes, maybe a small pullback. The next week, the first 3 days are even higher, goes to, maybe even as high as 22K, right? So let me put a pin in this. It could be an aggressive first few days of the next week, right? It could be. And then it falls down and maybe uses this at support somewhere down here. But that's what I think is in play to the upside. Am I saying that's my favorite scenario all the way up to 22K? No, but we're in a bear market, and I am generally biased to the downside midterm, but I'm showing you this first because with my bias as a somebody who's making videos online, I don't want that to rub off on you without you knowing the possibilities. This could go up to $2,500 first, easily. And those are the reasons why. Now, the also on the monthly chart, let me take off the macro range. We don't need it on the monthly. A lot of times the next month, let's say this closes green with an end of week or end of day attack, which is also end of month and end of quarterly attack. So this is the monthly candle. Let's say it flips green. And the next candle, even if it will end up being red, you usually get a backfill. So see this red candle here? What did it do? It backfilled all of this wick and more and touched this wick up here. See that? And it was red. So it went up first. So red candles have the habit of going up first. On all time frames. The daily, the hourly. If it's going to be a red candle, it backfills first and then goes. Am I making sense there? So there is a lot of stuff in the chart saying that the next week or week and a half, we could see some upside movement to essentially trap people. So be very careful. And knowing that the last month, the play was to go backfill above the previous wick. Well, this wick was at 22.8. So to backfill above it just normally is in the 23Ks before it then potentially slams down and re-enters that channel. The channel that I just got rid of that we don't need on the monthly chart. So I am biased to the downside, but I am expecting maybe even a probability. It's like 50-50, maybe slightly more, of some type of play. And the quarterly candles get a lot of weird stuff happening. And the shelf life on the backfills and the weird stuff, it's like a week or a week and a half. It's not necessarily hours. It's not go up $1,000 and then crash down the whole week or the whole quarter candle or the whole monthly candle. Sometimes it'll last sometimes it's a whole week. But in this case, with the pressure down of the stock market, I think it would be like Monday, Tuesday, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday up, if that were the whale play. To close this green or doji, like a dragonfly doji, where you can't see the candle body because it closes right near the opening, right? So either one is kind of what I'm expecting. A dragonfly doji, where this is smashed down like paper thin, or closes green, and which it'll probably be another, like it'll be a spinning top. So this is kind of a spinning top, right? Type of deal. Dragonfly is just the same, essentially the same thing, but paper thin. So it could be a spinning top green, which means the month, so tomorrow could close as high, in my opinion, as like 21K, right? Right at the origin line, which would flip this green, turn it into a spinning top. Or tomorrow closes the daily candle, which is also the quarterly, around 20,100, somewhere around there. That would be 20,100, so a $900 range between 21K and 20,100 would be my guess for the closure tomorrow, Friday, which happens to also be the monthly and the 3-month closure. And if that is correct, which I'm not guaranteeing it's correct, hell, this could start accelerating down. But if the whales want to play up to trap people before going down, which is it's it's 50-50 or slightly better. If you see this close around 20,100 to 21K, then that locks in a probability that the first 2 days, maybe not Saturday, Sunday could come down first, right? It could go down to 18.8. But what I'm saying is, when traditional finance opens on Monday, Tuesday, if this does end up a dragonfly doji, red or green, doesn't matter, or green spinning top around 21K, if that's accurate, then it becomes probable, like statistically probable, you have an edge that Monday, Tuesday will be up the next week once traditional finance opens on Monday, October 3rd at 9:30 a.m. New York time. Just realize it does lock it in as probable. But even though it's probable, it could still easily go down on Saturday, Sunday, 18.8, play around there. Because these wicks right here are at 18.8, I believe. Or no, was it this one? No, this guy right there. It could play with that wick at 18.8 on the weekend. Even if this closes, like I said, it locks it in as probable Monday, Tuesday. It could easily come test this Saturday, Sunday. Might not, but if it does, it still would be probable. Like what I'm saying is, you say, oh, Koso said it's probable, but it's all the way down here on the weekend. No, that's baked in. It would still be probable if it stays above 18.8, 18.5, somewhere around there, doesn't go too far below here. Saturday, Sunday, it's still probable that it goes up higher on Monday and Tuesday. So be very careful for the whale games around the quarterly candle, monthly candle, and daily candle closure tomorrow, Friday, September 30th at 8 p.m. New York. Shit's going to get volatile. And if you can't buy your charts and actively buy, something to get in and out of positions, don't try to enter positions and walk away. It's going to be it's going to get volatile. And it's likely going to be, it could be bi-directional volatility, right? So you get booted in and out of trades, and so don't try to trade this like by setting, orders somewhere and walking away. You could really get messed up doing that tomorrow, Friday. Like bad. You'd only want to be at your computer if you're pissing around with your money, and that is Bitcoin and how to try to stay safe during the wacky volatility that is very likely on Friday, September 30th. Okay, so let me see what the hell is going on. I might accidentally make the stream pause, but let me go see something here. Oh, okay. I popped out the chat. Now I can see it. Weird. Okay, so I can see your stuff. But why can't I see it just like I usually do? Okay, I can see your stuff now. So cool. All right. You won't get gypped on the questions. All right, awesome. Interesting. If you want to see it, here you go. And I can't see this on the normal bar that's on the edge of my live stream, on the YouTube live stream. I don't know why. I didn't do anything differently. Okay, so let's start looking at some questions. Hello, by next week. I'm hoping for your Discord here. Yeah, Thurman. Yeah, it's there when you need it. And the cool thing about the Discord is you can turn on your microphone. Most people don't turn on the camera, but I usually do. You can just ask me. Like I had a VIP today who was in about 5 positions. He just, and it was right before the show, so we had limited time. He asked me like 5 different questions about his 5 different positions. Okay, should I set my stop? Should I move my stop up here? Like, is this profit taking good? And he just went, right on. You don't have to type. Like, just literally ask me questions like you're talking to me on the phone or on a Zoom call. It's like a Zoom call. We have Zoom rooms there essentially, but it's on Discord. So yeah, that's the biggest benefit that the Cryptillion Discord tier has over the Cryptillion YouTube tier. But if you're somebody who works 12-hour shifts or 12-hour days and you can't do live stuff on my time, then the YouTube Cryptillion tier might be better, for those purposes, because it's more JPEG / recordings of videos. That's the main difference. All right, so you sound fine. XRP, yeah, XRP is getting hot. We can take a look at that. All right, let's take a look at XRP. So it's been hot on the micro and low time frames. So with that, instead of diving right into the small candles, which we know it's going aggressively up, let's take a look at the bigger picture first, and then I'll dive into the 5-minute, 1-hour candles to essentially finesse this here. All right. Okay, so zooming out, here's price. All of it back to 2014, okay, when it was 18 cents, or no, 1.8 cents. Damn. And that's what we have going on. It went below this origin line and now is trying to scream above. So what I'm going to be interested in is on the low time frame. So I'm on the monthly chart. Has it used this line as support, and to what degree? Or did it fly past it and it didn't use it as support on the 15-minute chart or whatever, right? So now let's go to the weekly chart. Because if it flew up past it and hadn't used that support, it's going to come right back down to it. So let's go to the weekly chart, see what's happening on the weekly. It looks like it's already retested it. This is actually not bad. So I wonder why it didn't come all the way down here. There must have been some news release or something, because usually when you go, so it went below this origin line here, it went below it, used it as resistance. Assets almost always hit the next origin line down before it does this. This is interesting. So I don't know if some SEC stuff was released where, okay, the worst case is a settlement, and therefore they're cool. And that might have happened around the last week of August or the first week of September. I think something happened here, because it should have hit this. But news can change. Like, news can change price and change people's hitting market and algos buying and selling. So this has been used as support and retested after it flew. So it flew past it, came down to retest it, and it's going back up right now on the weekly scale. So what I can say right now on the weekly chart is, actually, I will give you a pop quiz. So seeing it like this on the weekly scale, where is a threshold on when price might start accelerating? Like the exact moment it might start accelerating. So horizontal, I'm looking for one price level, horizontal. That's not a trick question. It's not an EMA. What horizontal do you think that price will, buyers will become more confident instantly, and you'll be able to see it in terms of acceleration, in order to take it above this wick high up here, this weekly wick high, or its local high, at 56. And it'll probably take it all the way. So when that happens, it's probably going up to 66. So you see this origin line here? It's kind of dotted in light. That guy right there. So looking at this behind me, what level is that? Just using the information here. It's the opening. So once this weekly candle flips green, people are probably going to buy it. And it could, it could happen in 1 hour. So I would draw a line. I would zoom into this for the short time frames. Because even on the 1 minute chart, drawing a line here is going to be important. So I'll make myself small. And you can use this trick on the daily as well. But the weekly is going to have even a bigger effect. So the opening of candles on the daily and weekly, they are a big deal. And if you just mark, so zoom way in, or you could hover over and look up where I am up here. Let's see, it should be about here. So if I hover over it, you can see the open here. It says 49.25. You could just, do that. But I usually just zoom in and make a horizontal line. So now that I've done that, now I'll go to let's go to the 5 minute chart. And take a look. It looks like it needs to pull back. But let's say, man, it really did use this origin line as perfect support. Damn, look at that. That is fucking beautiful, actually. Wow, that was perfect. Overshot it, made higher low structure, and it accelerated right as it broke above this horizontal after establishing a higher low from this. And that's see how it accelerated right there as it got above this horizontal, only after forming the higher low here. And that's what so that is what will likely happen at the weekly line too. Like it'll probably start accelerating up to 66 cents. It's got a good chance. I shouldn't have the light so yellow. It's making me all look yellow. I didn't realize that till now. All right, so let's take a look at this line here. So if price did race up to it, it could not use, let me make this a little thicker. So this is the weekly open line. And that is at, what did I say? So you need this horizontal at about 49.25. I'm going to throw on some of my personal tools that I don't describe what they are. Yeah, this looks like it might need to pull back before I can try. Honestly, it looks like it might pull back all the way to 450 to 455. Yeah, I would actually guess it will. So it looks like it wants to come all the way back down to 455. But if it can try harder and get back above this area here, it's going to accelerate, similar to how I showed you what created people. What was the signal to get people in algos to buy harder? It was breaking above that horizontal only after forming higher lows. So what's probably going to happen here is it's probably coming down to 45, just 45 and change, 45 to 46 cents, right? Or it could just go sideways and down for an extended period of time and only go as low as 46 and change, 465. But somewhere around 455 to 465 would be my guess, depending on how fast it gets down here. But honestly, if I were an XRP fan and I wanted to go up, I would prefer it comes down hard and fast and lower so it can just hit this area first and then start creating a higher low structure on the 5 minute chart, because you want to get some higher lows in before buyers are comfortable and algos are comfortable buying stuff, right? Because that's baked in. Higher low structure on small time frames is like algos can read that, at least the sophisticated ones can. As I showed you here, like it accelerated breaking above that, because there were higher lows on the 5 minute or 15 minute chart, however they're programmed. So I would say 455 to 465, get some higher lows in, and once you break above this area here, it's going to accelerate, and then your target will be 66 cents. It's the next origin line up. That will be your target once 49.25. Once 49.25 is crossed, and that's exact. So that's to the upside and how it will get there. I think it will pull back now. What are you looking for if it's just going to break down? The opposite. So let's do that real quick. So breakdown point. Honestly, I would say 435. I wouldn't be concerned about this legging down unless, I would say maybe about 435, this origin line. Can you see that blue line there? Yeah, so from where it lifted off, a big pullback here could easily happen, and it just works its way up again. Because XRP's freaking, it's got a mind of its own. It's it's really tough. So honestly, I wouldn't think it's probable that it's going to break down until this origin line is broken and used as resistance, and the local low it forms is broken after resistance. So let me show you what I mean by that. And again, so what I'm about to show you applies to Bitcoin. It applies to the price of oil, black market testicle price, doesn't matter. It's everything. So I wouldn't even be concerned here if it went boom, 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 and went below it. That's still not locked in as probable to break down, in my opinion, because it could easily form higher lows and work its way out, right? Because all it's doing is trying to take out people's stops doing that. But where it becomes probable that it's going to break down around 434 or 433, whatever, this origin line is if it were to come down here, it'll form a local low as it passes through it. So maybe it'll bounce and make a lower high and then make a local low and then come up, get rejected, and then start making lower highs. But it's not like super confirmed you're going to break down until you take out the lower low, the local low, the first low you made when you went below this support. That's the opposite of what I just showed you. That's when sellers will step in and algos will sell and it will accelerate to the downside, as opposed to candle closures. It's this structure on small. I'm telling you, I promise. It's that what I just showed you for at least for breakdowns and using previous support as resistance. That's where it's at. This is like very valuable information. If you're aware of it, it's super valuable. It's more important than 4-hour closures, daily closures, because I'm promising you, they're just used to fake you out by algos, especially 1 hour and daily candles and 4 hour, 1 hour, 4 hour and daily candles and weekly candles. Like since 2019, they're mostly used to fake you out for traps. I would not suggest using them as a tool of confirmation anymore. I strongly make that suggestion to you. And so that's when you can essentially confirm I have an edge to the downside, right? But should you start getting more concerned that it's going to break down as it comes down here? Sure. Yeah. Like the probability starts increasing drastically that it's going to break down and go back into the high 30s or whatever, right? Or even low 30s and make its next leg down to the next origin line. Do I have a next origin line? Yeah, I do. So it would break down all the way to 27. Ooh, look at that. Ugh. It would take time, but I wouldn't. So as it comes below here, even before it's confirmed edge, like you have an edge, it becomes more and more probable as it's coming down here, sure, that it's going to break down. But you don't have a strong edge until this type of idea happens. You make a local low coming below support, you flip it to resistance, and then take out the original low you made when you went under previous support. And that is specifically what I'd look out for on XRP to the upside, a pull down to 4. You saw the video. I think it's going to pull back. You're looking for higher lows on the 5 and 15 minute chart, and the breakout point is at the weekly open. To the upside, to the downside, it's this origin line, which is coming in around 433, and it needs to be broken and used as resistance and taking out the local low, and then trading to the downside would probably be, you would have a strong edge. That is XRP. Hopefully that was helpful. And again, everything I said about that's how price works on everything. That's why if you're not an XRP fan, you shouldn't just go, mow your lawn while I'm talking. The price moves like price moves. That's just it has rules. Even though XRP is a rule breaker, XRP does its own fucking thing. Jeez, XRP is tough. Man, it's tough to trade. All right. Okay. And being tough to trade, in my opinion, also means not that profitable. You want something easy to trade, like the stock market when it's not in a bear market. Easy to trade that, relatively, right? It's never easy, but it's easier. Or a bull market in crypto. That is, for people, if it's your second bull run, after you get through a bear market, getting your butt kicked and trying to learn how to buy and sell, even if you're never successful in a bear market trading, you keep funding accounts, a small one, and you keep taking it to zero, trying to learn it. As long as you're hitting buy and sell, and you're unsuccessful the entire bear market, right? As long as you're only trading with small amounts, right, and you're not taking all your equity for the next bull run, as long as that doesn't happen. But you're no, let's say you have $100,000 to work for, and you only fund, $100 at a time. It goes to zero. $100 at a time. Can I, trade? Goes to zero. You do that the whole bear market, and the bull market starts. Even in that case, that will be more than worth the money put in having lost. In that specific case, as long as you didn't suck all your equity, all your money, right? You just small chunk, tiny chunk, to learn, because learning a skill set costs money, right? So even if you're unsuccessful the whole bear market and you're practicing, literally hitting buy and sell, you're trying to do setups, you're trying to do risk management, and profit taking, you could be a little loosey goosey as you're learning, but especially risk management and entries. If you're trying hard and you're just unsuccessful the whole time, you're going to kill it next bull market. You will so kill it, because all you're competing against are noobs who think shit can go to $1 when it's got a coin circ of 100 billion, like fucking what's like Shiba and stuff. You're gonna have just people who are mathematically challenged, like they don't have math chromosomes, and they're going to be taking credit cards and money they shouldn't be spending because they think since Bitcoin is at $100,000 next bull run or whatever, they think their coin can go to $1. Like you're going to be competing against that type of people, not against algos that are very smart during a bear market who essentially dictate price, right? Like I'm telling you, as long as you're practicing in a bear market and you don't blow your whole account, rather you don't blow more than like 10% of your account, right? And but you're never successful. It's going to be worth the investment. Like you are learning how to do something. It'll be so worth it. I cannot stress that enough. But also, I can't also stress enough, don't blow your account. Because if you're trying to learn futures and you are learning, whatever you put into futures, it will go to zero, and it will go to zero multiple times. I made a video on that. So you can go to my playlist, The Most Important, or go to my channel and search futures tips. Watch that video. It's only 6 minutes long if you're trying to learn how to do this. All right, here we go. 3 months ago, you did a KDA video on the next bull run targets using origin lines. Can you do the same thing on Flux for me? Thanks in advance. Okay, so that is a good question. All right, Flux. Somebody wants me to kind of do a next bull market projection. Don't etch what I'm about to say in stone and in 2025 say, look at you, you were so wrong. I'm probably going to be wrong. I'm going to give you an educated guess, okay? And I don't even know what my educated guess is going to be. I'm going to put this together. This was during a stream, but I'm reporting this. So people watching the recording, I'm going to do this on the fly. But the valuable thing is, not so much is my guess is going to be valuable, but you watching me in an unprepared fashion approach that type of question so you can apply it to other coins. That's what's going to be valuable here, okay? My end prediction is not going to be the valuable part because it's probably going to be wrong. Okay? Is that strong enough of a preface for people not to come back in 3 years and say, look at you? Gosh. All right, like my $1,000 Trias video, I said 5 times, this isn't probable. But if it happens, here's how it would. Like, I still get shit about that. All right, but maybe I should. I had a thumbnail that said $1,000 Trias, so whatever. Okay, here we go, Flux. But I really hope that that was strong enough of a preface so people... why don't I have Flux saved? Flux is something that I kind of want to get into here. All right, so I'm going to go to the daily chart, take off all my indicators. Should I take this stuff off? I will go ahead and go like... And I'm getting ready to show you how to use an object tree. Let me get rid of this thing here. All right. So if you don't know how to use this thing on the right-hand side, watch me. Like this is, honestly, this is very, very valuable stuff. So I don't like this trend line. I don't think I need to take care of this and then targets there. Okay. And now I can just go boom, boom, and put it all back on, right? All right, here we go. So origin lines, man, God, this asset looks so healthy in a bear market. This is just unbelievable. And it doesn't matter if it's on a strong downtrend going down 40%. Like for a bear market, this is just solid as hell. From its height, only down 75%. I mean, hell, isn't Bitcoin down 70%? This is in great shape. Where should I start? So this is gonna be obvious. This is going to connect with something over here. And it's going to create my master origin line with which every other line will be parallel. So I'm almost certain that this will help me form my master origin line. I might have to go to the 8-hour chart to kind of, maybe even the 4-hour chart. Is this, actually, maybe I should make sure this is all of price history. Hold on, let me go to Binance. Yep, that's good. Flux on KuCoin has more. Yep, okay. Yeah, 8-hour chart looks good. All right, I'm going to do this on the 8-hour chart. Let's see here. So, might be just as simple as that. Is it going to be that simple? Sometimes it is that simple. We'll see. Let's see how the parallel lines match up with stuff. That is it. Wow, that was it. Sweet. Ooh, so price just broke below an origin line. That's not good. So this means it might pull back even more. Okay. And again, to drag these, all I do is I hover over. I'm not clicking. I hold control with whatever finger. So I'm holding it now, and then I click it, and I drag up. And so I'm still holding the left mouse button, right? Still holding it. And then you could let go of control, I guess. So now all I have is my right finger on the left-hand side of the mouse, trying to place this guy. I guess I could let go of it and then just keep dragging it later. But so now I want them equidistant. So I'm not just looking for lining this up with highs and lows or just like things where it breaks out or anything or junctures like this. I'm also looking for the equidistance, right? That looks about right. So now I can copy 3 or 2 of them. Beautiful. Yeah, this one's really good. Right here, right here, right here, and all this stuff. Yeah, this is it. Okay, and then what I like to do is I like to let me see what year 2023. I might need to go to a larger chart. So, gosh, I need to go to the 2-day to see 2024. All right, so if I extend this to 2024. And that's better than trying to drag these out because then you mess up the parallel nature. Okay. So this is almost turning into an origin line tutorial. Okay, there we go. And then I will go ahead and make the middle lines dash like this. And I don't even look at highs and lows for this. I just put it in the middle. I want it perfectly equidistant. All right, there we go. So next bull run, let's say, starts really getting heated up in 2024. I mean, if it's able, a lot of coins, though, they don't go back to their highest line. I'm telling you, like, it's improbable that this line is hit next bull run. It'll probably be more like this one, which was support. So zoom into this point here. This line will probably be upper resistance since it was a strong support. It'll be strong resistance. So I will make this one like orange. That would be my bull market target. And I don't think the bull run will be really heated up by that point. So I might have to go to the 5-day chart. All right, so depending on when, the bull run really starts going parabolic, I could see it going between those 2 points. So from current price to the middle, fuck, that's 145x. Woo! Man, that would be hot. But that's this is when this is assuming. So this makes a couple assumptions. So just realize that this, and what I'm about to say, even though I'm on a Flux video, this applies to Flux and everything. The bull run of 2017, small alts, for example, or altcoins, they often went up like 250,000%. The next bull run, most of those coins, they didn't even get close to all-time highs versus the dollar. But the hottest coins, like Telcoin, went up 35,000%, right? Which is about 10 times lower on a percentage, like 250,000 to 35. So the hottest coins went up like 35,000%. It is possible, and so my understanding of why that is not because there's not less money flowing in each bull market. No, there's probably 3 or 4 or 5 times the amount of money than the previous bull market for altcoins. But altcoins are still not going up as high as they used to. Because even at, let's say there's 5 times as much money from retail and institutions next bull run, it's because there are more avenues and more things that people can buy in a store, right? That more than compensate for the 5 times as much money, but there are 20 times more offerings. So each of the coins go up way less, even with 5 times more money. Yes, the next bull run, each coin would go up way higher than they did last time if there were 0 more new things, new shiny toys. But this bull run, we even had like non-crypto sucking money out of crypto, NFTs, right? Like it totally fucked this bull run. This bull run was weak on the altcoin range. Oh yeah, it was weak compared to 2017. A lot of it to do because of NFTs. Because the people who would have spent money on crypto, they were spending on non-crypto. So next bull run, like stuff like that's going to happen too. And there's going to be more crypto shiny objects, more flavors of the month, and it might make it so people don't want to like talk about Cardano anymore. That was so 2017 and sort of 2021. Like we want PolyX or whatever the new, this is the Ethereum killer. Or what, maybe even layer ones won't be where it's at next time. It might be gaming and metaverse or something. I don't know. It might be something totally different. But the thing is, these are very aggressive targets. But the idea that the water pressure will be so much lower, even though there's 5 times more water coming through the tube, you would think it's the water pressure go, which means everything goes up higher. Because the tube gets wider, proportional to 5 times as much water. So as it comes out of the hose, it's just like dripping out, even though it's 5 times the amount of water because the hose is so big now, right? So that could make it so this isn't even close to being right. Because if that trend, like things create a trend, and that has been the trend since 2017. Hell, since the 2013 bull market too. 2017 had way more product offerings, and then from 2017 to 2021, those 4 years, even way more, like perhaps even logarithmically more. So if that trend continues, this won't be hit. But if it's somewhere in between, this is feasible for a target, okay? This is like as high as I see it going. Do I think that, so let me finish up. Do I think this is probable for next bull run? No. So less than 50% chance, but it could happen, all right? Flux, high-end targets for next bull run, maybe 2024, 2025. All right. I hope I covered my ass enough. Like, I thought I did it this bull run too when I clickbaited people with $1,000 trias and like $3.60, like 363 B Pro. Like I said it so even at the beginning, like this is not probable, and I still get shit. Oh man. Okay. All right, but yeah, Papa Longballs. Hopefully you liked that. But this is one in this bear market. I would like to get Flux's special. Flux, Quant, H bar, like they're doing some really cool stuff in this bear market that make me think people are there is investor buying pressure as opposed to just trading algo pressure. Like I can feel that there is actual investor pressure up, which is different than just up and down bullshit. Just trading pressure. Trading pressure looks different and it smells different and the texture's different in your mouth. All right. We are here, son. Yeah, I see. Okay. Hey, Cuppins209, welcome to the Cryptillion YouTube tier. Just make sure you look out for the and one more Thurman Shish. Hey Nick, thank you for the super chat. I give 1 to 3 alerts 6 to 7 days a week. And I think the format through which it comes on YouTube tier, you have to scroll down. So I'm not for sure from your visibility as a new member if you can go into the post and see previous posts, but if you can, scroll down and look at them. You know, a lot of times it's the daily stuff, but just so you can see the format in which I post stuff. But if you can't see that stuff as a new member, just realize that as I post over the weeks, now that you've joined, if you haven't looked at something for 3 days, you would want to go to the post and scroll down and see, like, you know, catch up on the last 3 days or whatever. All right, so here we go. Cosmo, Adam's been a very interesting coin to look at, and I got the request to take a look. No parameters attached, just take a look at Cosmos price. So let's jump into it to see if my last. Before I flip to Adam, I had the idea that it would go between 3 origin lines, the origin lines that are going this way. And when I covered it, it had just used the top one as resistance. And I said, it's probably going to come down 2 origin lines down and start playing between them. Let's go see if that is what happened. I would guess it is because that's just how Adam's moving. And before Luna died, that's exactly what Luna did too. It just kept bouncing in an upward fashion, but slowly. And I think that's what Adam's gonna be doing. So let's go check it out. Ta-da! 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 So yeah, I made that either here or here, the top one. So 1, 2, 3. Boom, bada, bang. And I said, it's probably going to come hit this one. Okay. Yeah, so that's where it's going. It's got to hit this line. Like, it doesn't have to, but it's just so ridiculously probable that it's silly not to, like, it's silly to think anything else will happen. Now, does it have to go down at all? No, it actually technically doesn't have to go below current price because it could just go sideways and hit it and then spring up, right? So it might not go below current price to get there. That's not the most likely way it's going to touch this line, but it is possible. Like, it is possible this is the low, you know, and before it hits this guy up here. It might not go below where it is currently. Does that make sense? But again, I bet it just follows this trend and hits it somewhere at 1225. 1225 would be my target. Maybe as low as 1221. So yeah, 1220 to 12 and a quarter, something like that. And after it hits there, if it starts making higher highs and higher lows on the 15-minute chart, then at that point, after you get like 2 higher highs and 2 higher lows in, then it becomes, fairly probable that this line right here will be hit, but only after you get a couple higher highs and higher lows on the 15-minute chart. Then this becomes probable, right? But you got to have a couple of each on the 15-minute chart, which means you've established a 1 hour and 4 hour uptrend, and then but I like to use small candles because the only way to trade crypto in this bear market is the small time frames. Like, you can't swing trade this shit anymore. It's not possible. You can swing trade when things have a strong trend for a long time, but the way crypto is going right now, maybe outside of Adam's been kind of interesting, but most of crypto, it's sideways choppy, then the trend, like all in 6 days, it just very fast, and then sideways choppy for a month or a month and a half or 2 months, and then the trend goes down all in 6 days, and it makes another leg down, then sideways. So you can't do anything. So the vast majority of this bear market has been sideways or sideways down or sideways up between 6 days of moving in the true direction, right? So that's why a lot of my analysis has been on the very, very small time frames, and that's why I was talking about the 15-minute chart. So using this as a guide on the 15-minute chart is kind of why I'm doing that. But yeah, I think Adam's going to play between those lines. Now, there is a clear breakdown point. If this line is used as resistance, well, then Adam's going to start breaking down into the single digits, or maybe bump its head on $10, like almost 10 even. Look at that. So if this is used as resistance, this is not using it as resistance. Hell, it could come all the way down to here. But you could bet your bottom dollar if it does that aggressively, it's going to come right back up and test this. And as it does it, it can start getting a higher low, maybe not even higher high, but a higher low type of pattern, and then bust right back out and get to $15, right? So it's when you get rejected by it and you just can't get above, and then you start falling down. That's when this becomes highly, highly probable. Does it become slightly more probable that this is it if it does just go vroom? Yeah, it does, obviously. But you don't have a confirmed edge to go to single digits or $10 until this is also used as resistance, and then you take out that low, and then that's when you have a strong edge to the downside, and that is Adam Price kind of midterm price action for you. Okay, mildly average. You asked about AKT. I'm going to keep going down the members' questions. So they have emblems like the star and a circle. I might not have time to cover that, but I kind of want to come back to get that because I don't know what that is. And I kind of want to look at a new chart. So I might get to that question as a non-member. I might. It's like a 50-50 chance right now. Ernie Jean asks, are you still thinking we'll get a descent little spike on Bitcoin up to the daily 89 next, or no micro edge either direction? I don't know. All right, here's the daily 89. Honestly, that's a great target. I should have used this as my guide during my Bitcoin portion. Honestly, excellent question, because I should have been using that as a guide. Yeah, so the daily 89 could be the target for the quarterly candle and monthly candle backfill. And that would be the middle thing that I was kind of like, man, like what should be in the middle, right? So you have like the daily 10, daily 21, weekly 10. I was like, shit, there's something in the middle. The daily 89 is in the middle. So what's your question? Yeah, I actually do think it's probable. Yeah. Oh, no. That's down here. I apologize. That's not in the middle. So is the weekly 10 up there? Hey, hold on. Come on, weekly 10. Oh, that's above the weekly 10. But still, that would have been a good guide for a monthly and quarterly backfill. I don't know if that's probable, but it is a good guide on where you, if it does get there, you should back off being long. But do I, yeah, you're asking, do I think a decent spike? I think it has a good chance. I would give it strong double digits chance, not a probability of over 50%, but 20-30% chance among the 10,000 things that could happen, over the next week and a half for a quarterly candle backfill. I would say it's got a good chance. And if I were long, if I'm somebody who's bullish, I would back off. Like I would start taking profits and sit and wait at that point. That's a great, yeah, and it's at a nice round number right now at 22K. So, and it's at a nice horizontal. Yeah, so if shit gets hot and price gets above the weekly 10, which is right here, that is your next target. So, yeah, good call. I think it could. 20-33% chance, something like that. All right. Where should my stops be on Chili's if I shorted at 27 cents? That's a good question. That's more of a Discord question, but whatever. I can do that here. 20. Oh, great entry. Fucking. So you shorted the top of the chain. Yeah, good job. And a lower high. So, yep, lower high rejection under this. That was a great entry. You should feel proud of that. That is about as good as you can get. You waited till it calmed down. You waited till it had lower highs, and then it got rejected from here. Like that's freaking fantastic. So your entry is at 20. Damn, that is such a good entry. Oh no, maybe you did it back here. Yeah, you must have. You must have done it there. But still, it's a free. You did it on a lower high. It looks like so. I would keep it over the daily 10. I would keep it over there and over this thing. So I would put it at around 25. So what could happen is algos might want to come swipe all the stops above here. And when they're at it, they might want to come swipe stops there. So I would leave it just a little bit above there, maybe 25.34. Yeah, that's one suggestion, but I don't know how much leverage you have. But regardless of leverage, you'd still be in profit. So you want your stop in profit, but that would be a safe one. Like, so that strategy, what I'm showing you here, this would be a strategy where you're trying to hold the short for a while, which might not be a bad idea. Like, sometimes when you're in multiple shorts, you'll have different strategies. Take profit quickly on one, take profit midterm on another, and then try to just go for a big rip on another one by walking your stops down. So the third one I just said, this would be kind of that strategy where you're trying to hold it for a while. If you're okay with it, if you're more to the style of I would prefer to be out and then just re-enter as it comes up, then I would probably hide it just above the daily 10 over here at 24.80. If you would just rather re-enter and be out more quickly, and take your profits quickly. So those would be my two different suggestions. Good question though. La Poison, can you give us an update on Veracity? New patent in South Korea. Okay. All right. So similar to what's it called? Adam, actually. So Veracity. All right. So new patent in South Korea, all that stuff. All right. The last time I covered Veracity, I was a little harsh on it. I kept saying, and I haven't looked at the chart since. So I said, Veracity, it's before it goes way up, it's got to hit this next origin line down, right? I honestly don't know if that's true, so I might eat my words going over here as I record this. But I did the same type of analysis on Atom, and it did happen. So let's see if that origin line was hit. And I truly don't know, because this is so for people watching the recording of this Veracity, I'm on a live show, so recording this segment. Let's see if I was right. I'm kind of interested. It hasn't hit it yet. It's close. Oh no, it went through it. Never mind. It did. Yeah, it did hit it. So I record. That's why this was here. So it went below it. Oh no. No, maybe I was talking about this. I don't know which one I was talking about at this point. No, it must have been this one, because I had the box and stuff here. So it must have been mid-September I was talking about this. So it did hit it. And it went way below it. It's not looking good, man. I don't think this new patent's doing anything. It's not creating buy pressure. So no, that new patent is not getting people to be bullish on this. So this line is going to be hit with an extremely high likelihood. Now, what could happen before that is, honestly, it could get rejected. So see how this weekly 10, so this is the weekly 10 EMA. See how it's crossing? So remember this for new people. When two important lines cross, it often turns into a vacuum. Doesn't matter if price is currently above where they're crossing or below. It just turns into a black hole, and it sucks in from all directions, and price often likes to get sucked into it. Regardless of if that makes price go down or up, it just gets sucked into it. It turns into a vacuum. I don't know why that happens. On bigger alts, it's because it's a setup for of sophisticated bots to trick less sophisticated bots to make them think, hey, it's bullish now. But on this, I don't know why that would happen. But it does happen. That's all that matters, is it does. So I could see Veracity come back up to 0045. But even with that, I still think this would still be probable. So when it becomes improbable that this is hit, this origin line in general, so it could hit it sooner, could hit it down here at 0.00311, could hit it later at 0.0033, right? But just this origin line in general, somewhere around 0.0033. The exact moment it becomes improbable that this will be hit is when price gets above and uses this as support, which it would do the weekly 10 and this at the same time. And then if it can bounce on it, this becomes improbable. Not hugely improbable, because it could break down and hit it, but it does become more probable that it's going to recover. Make sense? But even so, the reason why this is valuable is even during a pump off this patent news, if it hits 00485, this is still probable thereafter. Even as it pumps up, what, 25, 30%? 23%. Even with a 23% pump, that down there, 0033 is still probable. I can't stress that enough. And it only becomes not probable that this is hit when this is used specifically as support. On at least something like a 15-minute, a couple bounces on it. You know, you don't just want like one candle to go above and one 15-minute to wick down, and, you know, that doesn't quite count. You want some candles, you know, multiple candles, a couple bounces on the 5-minute time frame, or 15-minute, or even 1 hour. But I would say 5 to 15 minutes. If you can get 2 to 3 bounces on the 5 and 15-minute candle time frames, then this becomes improbable. But not until then. All right. So watch, but it could rally up to there, because the weekly 10 is going to cross there. So I would not be surprised if, based off that South Korea patent news, plus this cross, that would be a target. But right now, it's got to get above the daily 10 EMA first, which is this orange line, or the 1 hour 200. And really, if you're a Veracity person, you need, like, if you're a Veracity person and you click around with your money with it, I'm about to tell you something extremely easy and extremely valuable, like potentially profitable. Permanently have your chart with the 1 hour 200 EMA on it, on Veracity. It's like the perfect line for it. And honestly, it's the most magical line in all of crypto. It works for Bitcoin. It works for just like almost everything besides XRP. And in a bull market, a lot of coins are too hot and they actually use the 30, like VeChain, it continuously used the 30-minute 200 EMA, but it was an oddball because it was a slow, steady, but aggressive slow. If that's oxymoronic, but most coins use this because it's the daily 10 and it just bounces so much. So, but I don't think this becomes likely until the daily 10 gets a positive slope, which means it's bounced on it. That's what it means. So this doesn't become probable until this gets a positive slope and prices on top of it. And if those two things can happen, that means it did bounce, right? So if it gets above this daily 10 EMA, like right here, if you zoom in, did the daily 10 have a positive slope at any? It actually did. Look at that. Here, let me take off price. It did for a hot minute, right? For like 3 hours. But it needs a positive slope and bounce on it. So I guess technically you could get a positive slope with that, and it crashes back down. But if we circle this and go to the 5-minute chart, see how price interacted with it. Wow, this is volatile. It used it as support here, but all right, so it used it as, so this is the daily 10. It did get a positive slope in this area. It used it as support, but it made a lower high and then did it again, which means your chances of continuing to bounce are kind of a little lower here. Went below another lower high, lower than this one, and that means the next time it touches it, it's probably going to break down. If you just keep getting lower highs and you overshot it. So when you overshoot it and make a lower high, lower than the original local high it made when it got over the resistance, if you overshoot it, you're very likely going to make a lower high, which means this is a good short signal once you hit this again. And here, it didn't use it as support at all. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, you need to use this guy as support and make one more local high above the first high it makes. So so something like that is what you need to see on. My EMA just freaking disappeared. Interesting. I don't know why it disappeared, but it did. But that is Veracity. So that levels that I talked about, you could have a 23% pump, and that lower target is still more probable. That is Veracity for you. All right. Mr. Ubaid Gaming YouTube. I covered Bitcoin at the beginning of the stream. So what you could do is you could rewind this to the beginning, the first 12 to first 18 minutes or so, and I describe it there. All right, so Dot and Link. All right, let's take a quick look at Polkadot. Polkadot has honestly been heating up in two different ways. It's and chain. No, actually, let me think about what I'm saying. I'll cover Chainlink. Chainlink has been heating up in two different ways. Specifically, I just covered this on a VIP call. So one way, and I'm going to show you visually here. That makes a lot of sense, right? I'm going to show you visually. I'm going to show you through smell. Clap if you can smell me. All right. So the first way it's heating up is look at this macro channel. This is the top. This is when Bitcoin did a 69K top. It was in the channel the whole time, like 9-10 months. It's working its way out of it and so if we zoom into this part, knowing that it's worked its way out of a macro channel, which is a big freaking deal. It's a big deal. That means something macro is changing with it, right? Okay. Maybe not as bold enough to say the bottom's in for it, this bear market, but so what this means is there is investor pressure up, investor buys up, not just trading bots, not just, trading money, trading market buys. No, this is investor money. People are DCAing into this more strongly than a lot of other stuff, stronger than Bitcoin even, because Bitcoin is right here above its the same channel that goes back to the 69K top. It hasn't worked its way out of it for, what is this, like 45 days? 62 days. So this is like, there is more investor pressure on the chart than even on Bitcoin, which is awesome. All right, so that's one way. And another way it's heating up is its swings have been volatile. Volatile. I mean, look, like for example, look at this swing here. See that? So let's zoom into this. From wick low to wick, that's 32% move on one undulation of like the 1 hour, 4 hour, and the 4 hour chart. That's one swing on the stochastics. Probably, right? Is it? Yeah, that's one. Yeah, that's one full swing. It definitely took its time to go from bottom to bottom, but it's one swing. That's a pretty big 4 hour swing, though. I'm not gonna lie, but still, 30-something% on a 4 hour swing, which often takes about a week. So the swings on 4 hour stochastics often take about a week. That's 2 weeks. So like I said, it did take its sweet time. That was a big one. But the 4 hour chart often, like a weird rule with crypto, and again, this is applied to all crypto, not just Chainlink. The 4 hour relates to the week. The hour relates to like a day, day and a half. The week translates to like 6 months moves. I mean, it's kind of how it works on its swings. All right. And so it's getting pretty volatile on its swings, folks. Like, another 30% one, even from this point, from halfway up to the top, 30-something%. Because this is technically two swings. One swing made a great higher low in a second swing. And on its way down, the swing was even bigger. Like fucking A, 35%. Like, so this is heating up. Like there is investor money, and it's essentially clashing with trader money, which is why this is getting volatile. Honestly, I don't know. Like, shame on me. I should be trading this. It's got great liquidity. It's playing fewer bot games from traditional finance. So you're not competing with traditional finance bots that you can't compete with over time. You will lose over time if you're trading against smart bots. So this is a good one to, like, if you're trying to get practice swings in on trading. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm talking about practicing, right? Practicing trading, not making money, like going for home runs. But this is a good one to practice on. I'm not gonna lie. This chart is this is pretty good. All right. Let's see here. All right, so your question to Link is, had the SmartCon event, so like today and yesterday, on September 28th, 29th, and went really bullish, that I believe, the DOT has fallen in your, okay, so yeah, I think DOT might have fallen back into the, yeah, but Chainlink is, honestly, I'm not concerned about Chainlink falling back. So when Chainlink does fall back to this channel, I don't think it's going to go in it. If it does have a capitulation of it, it's going to use this as support. So I think it's done with this channel for the rest of its life. I don't even if Bitcoin goes to $9,600, I think this will be used as support, which hopefully that's about a 65% drop. Let's measure. Hopefully. Yeah, 55. Yeah, it might wick into it. It could dip into it, but I think that's about as much as it'll go into it. So I think Chainlink is done with this channel. Forever. Like the rest of the bear market and leading into the bull market, I don't think it'll play in this ever again, outside of a capitulation event in which it'll then use that support and work its way out. Which means this will probably be the most probable target for a bear market then, is $3.37. So these are probably out of the question now. These bear market targets, because it's done so much good work, these aren't going to happen. Honestly, Bitcoin going way lower, Bitcoin would separate from stocks. If like Putin, if Russia, Black Swan events, or oil, energy crisis in Europe gets really crazy and Black Swan events happen, maybe this, but without Black Swan stuff, the stock, even if the stock market goes down till 2024, like way longer than what everybody's anticipating, Bitcoin would separate with the stock market way before then, because it would be seen as a safe haven, and Bitcoin would actually fly up. It would go crazy. And so even in that, without a Black Swan, this won't happen. So these are kind of out of the question right now. So I don't think Chainlink will go under $3.37 this bear market. at this point. And I wouldn't get concerned about it legging down to the top of the macro channel until... So it's using its date. So if you're a Chainlink person, the daily 89 is where it's at right now. Oh my God, it's above its daily 89 and using it as support. That is fire. Wow, this is strong. Because Bitcoin's daily 89 is $2,000 above current price. Bitcoin's daily 89 is at 22K, and Bitcoin right now is at under 20K. It's like $2,200 above, and this is using it as support. Whew. So if you're a Chainlink person trading at daily 89, you need this on your chart. Daily 21, you also need on... Wait, is that the daily or weekly? That's the weekly 21. Wow, this is getting some work done. Yeah, I would be using the weekly 21 and the daily 89 right now for middle of my range, top of my range, for bumpers. Like these are bumpers, right? So you got sellers will come in here. This will be defended by bulls, but this is also where the bulls will give up if it's used as resistance, and bulls won't step back in until whatever I'm about ready to find. Something is down here. There's an EMA down here. And the bulls that give up after this daily 89 is used as resistance, the bulls will give up and they won't step back in until, what is it, the weekly 10? That's the monthly 10. Nope, weekly 10's with the, let's see, what is it? That's the daily 21. Where's my daily 10? Nope, daily 10's up there too. Wow. You're gonna have to use something structural then. An EMA won't work for it. So daily 89 for the middle, weekly 21 for the top bumper, and for the bottom bumper when it could start accelerating down to meet this would be... Oh, I don't have that in an object tree. It's going to be this horizontal with this, that support. Yeah, it's going to be right here. It's going to be... Nope, that is too high. Wow, that's too high. All right. Buyers that give up after the daily 89 is used as support, they will step back in to defend this box right here. So this is your third bumper. So breakout to the upside is above the weekly 21. Break down to the downside, and again, I can't just put a price on there because it's moving, right? A big breakdown is after not just a wick below. That's not a breakdown. You got to go below it and use it as resistance. It's 668, and this number is a horizontal. So really, what this means is over time, Chainlink has got to make up its mind because the top bumper, over time, it will be touching this by late October, early November. So late October, early November is going to be a pivotal point for this asset. Unless it breaks up or breaks down before then. But if it keeps doing what it's doing around the daily 89, late October, early November is going to be a big deal for it because it's going to be a macro pivot under those circumstances because that's when all of the bumpers converge and you have to make a macro choice. That's Chainlink. All right, I'm not doing dot. I got to get off the phone or off the phone. I got to get off here. So I wanted to do. All I want from Link is the lowest price. Yeah, so lowest price for Link that I'm seeing this bear market is 337 right here. Black Swan event, 2.25. But I don't know if Black Swan's going to happen. But yeah, this is the lowest reasonable that I can see it going. All right, and then I want to cover a non-community member AKT. So this is a micro cap, which has people doing $5,000 market buys who don't know what the fuck they're doing. Oh, that poor person. Oh my gosh. Just imagine buying a crap ton of this and obviously thinking, hey, I got $5,000. If I buy it right here at 21.7 cents, right? I'm going to have about 22,000 of these tokens. And then you smash buy with 5K and you only get like 12,000 of these tokens because you bought here. That's what liquidity means. Liquidity means you can buy and sell where you want with as much money as you want. This does not have, yeah, that's what this person did. It might have been more like 20K, I don't know, but this is almost definitely under 15 million market cap. I would guess even like under, I would guess 10 or under. Let's see. Nope, it's 30. It's a close guess. So that might have been like that was probably every bit of like a $5,000 to $15,000 market buy. My God. Or what this was, it was the exchange bots taking people's stops and getting them out of the trades. That could be what that is. But it actually looks like somebody market bot. All right, so be careful. If you're trying to buy this and you do market, well, it's just the only, not the only way to buy, but don't market buy with a lot. Look, this is somebody else did it here. Like, this is ridiculous. And I don't think this is bots. Bots wouldn't make it do this, most likely. Gosh, this would be a good one, honestly, to play with like $200 or $300, and not financial advice, but pick up some of this Pokemon card and then just create your own liquidity with what you just bought, with the idea that somebody's stupid bots see it and it spikes right up and comes right back down, and your average sell was 30%. Like, that might be what's happening. You could probably trick people's bots to buy this. That might be what it is. This might not be somebody hitting market buy. It might be somebody's bot that has loaded amount of money, and the bot identifies liquidity and it eats it. And it comes right back down because then the liquidity's gone. Wow. But it might actually be, it also might be just some dorks. All right, where's this going? I don't know. Ooh, it's at a pivotal point right now. Ooh. Yeah, I would honestly I would go to the 4-hour chart on this and try to copy what I just did here and use these as your guide. So if you're going down and you reach one of these lines, you have a chance to bounce back up to this one, right? Which could be a 12% move. Not huge, but these are bumpers. But if you break below one, and use it as resistance, you're likely going down one or two more. So try to draw this, and that's going to be one of your best guides. What EMA is it using heavily? Probably the daily. That's daily 21. And I would use the 1 hour 200 as my guide as well. So I would use two tools. Draw these essentially inverse origin lines and use the 1 hour 200 EMA. So the same concept. If you go up to the 1 hour 200 EMA and you're coming from below it, you're likely going to get rejected from it. But the point in which the trend can change is when you get above this and it gets a positive slope. That's when you're probably going to have like 5 days of upside. And you're probably going to go past one of these lines. but you're not going to go above one of these lines that you already broke below until this line gets a positive slope. And that's all you need on this one. This one's an easy read because there aren't a lot of people trading it, and it's going to follow that rule. Like, there aren't bots dictating this price and faking you out. Like, literally, you need two things on this chart. Yeah, this one's an easy one. But I can't stress enough, very low liquidity. So if you hit market buy with $500, you're probably going to be buying 5 to 10% higher than you thought, and you're going to get fewer tokens than you anticipated. So, like, chill out on your market buys on this, or market sells even, or your stops. If you have a market stop, right, that is a market order. So you think you're going to get stopped out at a 6% loss or wherever you put it, but you're actually taking more like a 12% loss because there's not enough liquidity. You can't sell. So a market stop in that case, underpriced, that is a market sell, right? That's what the stop is. And you could sell, you could get out of your position a lot lower than you thought. So that is where I am going to wrap up. I will see you all. Hey, thanks everybody for being here. I will see you all next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. I appreciate everybody being here. Great questions today. Great engaging questions. Yeah, very, very good questions today. And then don't hesitate to check out what we do on Discord. You know, you can come on and ask me questions live without typing. Turn on your mic, or if you are somebody like a nurse or a plumber who's working 12 hours, or a manufacturing person, 12-hour shifts.